mm, mm, mm. Do it, baby, stick it, baby, move it, baby, lick it, baby, suck up on that dick into that pussy, got a hickey, baby, watch big, coulda bought a Range Rover, hey, but I saw some change on it. Nigga mad, I'ma put the gang on him. Twerk, 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 twerk. All right. All right, I want to thank you for checking out another podcast of We Ain't Scared Talk, where we ain't scared. My name is A1, and I appreciate everybody that has listened to the previous podcast. We're doing really good. And today's podcast is going to be no different. We're going to have fun today, people. We're going to have fun today. This particular topic, twerk or not twerk? Yeah, we're going to have some fun, a little levity. But before I get into it, subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button. If you've listened to this show, you know you like it. Subscribe. Tell a friend. Subscribe. All right, so let me get to work winner. All right, let me turn this down. So today's topic is a little controversial, not a little, a lot. And I have a lot of notes here. I want you to know I took a lot of time writing this particular podcast out. And I wanted to move past the obvious it's just bad and it's not good for women and it's degrading and all the normal typical responses. And hold on a second. My coffee is calling me. You guys know I love my Starbucks. Mocha. All right. Anyway. So, yeah, I really wanted to move past the typical response when the word twerk is mentioned. And this can be around anybody, mixed crowd, different ethnicities. So how this sort of thing came to me, and I mentioned this on a promo video, Obama was talking to a group of young people, and he was, of course, trying to build up their confidence. He said, look, if you have confidence, you don't need 8 women around you twerking. And my response was, of course, come on, bro. If you got 8 women around you twerking, your confidence can't get no higher. That's the bomb. But again, I knew where he was going. So I said, let me take this a step farther. And I want to start off with affirming these women. Now, of course, this is going to lead into a little of the stripper world, twerk, because there seems to be a natural progression or connection there. But I did want to first say, and this is on theroot.com, Black women are now the most educated group in the United States. This is a fact. They are the most educated group in the United States. Now, for those, and the reason why I'm planning this early is because there is a perception, for better or for worse, that black women are not smart and they can only do one thing. And when it comes to twerking, they think, oh, well, she's not living up to her full abilities. Now, that's something I'll get into. But black women, now white women can do this. Nobody has a problem. They don't say anything. But black woman does, and all of a sudden she's not educated. She has low self-esteem. But you can find this on The Root. I'm not going to read that particular article, but they are the most educated group in the United States. So obviously, when it comes to the media trying to send this image or project images of black women have not bought into it because they're taking control of their academia. So there's that. And my notes are kind of all over the place, but let's talk about how we got here. okay, and the history of twerking. And the history goes back to Africa, and in terms of dance, okay. And of course, black people brought dance to America, and it evolved. So, and let me just read this because I think I want to be sort of creative here. It's a hypnotizing gyrations of the female species when she maneuvers her gluteus maximus in a rhythmic motion to pre-recorded drum beats. Wow, right? Very scientific. Now, I know that some of you are listening and you're like, oh my God, here we go. Where are you going with this? But for those who may not understand all of that, again, twerking is something that is very, very visually fun to watch. And these women have to be given a chance to just explore who they are. Okay? And all of us have that right. It's an art form. That's all it is. And it's helped a lot of women, believe it or not, put themselves through medical school, nursing, cosmetology. You know, you go to a strip club and you're talking to them and they're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, God, trying to put myself through school. And I mean, it's the typical thing. And they're raising their children. These women have families. And we should not try to curb a female's ability to make money. They should have the same opportunities that men do, to choose what they want to do. And let's be honest, men aren't the only ones that love twerking. We're not. Women love twerking too. And that's a fact. When you go to a strip club, you don't just only see the women up on stage dancing. You'll be sitting next to a female making it rain. Okay? So these dancing engineers, as I call them, or AKA strippers or exotic dancers, they'll usually tell you a hard luck story of how they ended up in that place or a place like that, giving lap dances to people who otherwise would be sitting in front of their computer screens at home in the dark, handling their business. And I think you know what I mean without getting into any detail. So let's get to the bottom of the issue of twerking. You see what I did there? Let's get to the bottom of this issue. Yes, I know. I'm so funny. So anyway, so to continue, let me first say I'm the last person to judge anybody for their choice of occupation. Okay? And as the saying goes, if nobody's there to help these women pay their bills, then you got to do whatever you got to do to eat and stay alive and take care of yourself and your family, period. These women have families. They have bills. They got responsibilities. They want to live a better life. Now, of course, there are those people in the world who have never been faced with the type of choice of strip or die or twerk or die. But there are plenty of people where life has dealt them a very challenging set of cards, of circumstances. And they're just playing the cards that they've been dealt. Now, some people are twerking really a bad hand. Look, everybody's path in life is different. And you have to remember that. Just because you're comfortable or you're educated and your family took care of you and you were never left with the choices that some people are left with does not mean that person is less than worthy of the respect for whatever they're doing. And again, understand, as I said earlier at the top of the show, it's usually black women that are looked down upon. So, but let me not get too far ahead of myself. And I don't mean this to sound unfeeling, what I'm about to say. But if life didn't give those women a challenging hand, what would men be doing or watching at a strip club? There'd be no women there. And I know it's like, well, you're saying it's got, no, I'm just saying, look, some things have to be. They have to be. So, and how does the saying go? It's a dirty job, But somebody's got to do it. I mean, think about the rap videos, the rappers, the ballers. You know, what are they going to do with all their $1 bills, their singles? Music videos would not be the same. But for the females on camera. But, see what I did there? But, okay, anyway. So you got to have shaking and you got to have bouncing. They got to bounce what their mama gave them. And I, for one, would not view Cisco's thong song, "Can't You See That Long," the same if the women were fully clothed or wearing dresses down to their ankles. No, the imagery would not be the same. Fail. Now, I also know that this topic, just like booty cheeks, deeply divides people. Right? The religious community, this stuff writes itself. The religious community, on the one hand, is disgusted by the thought. But look, those same folks are the same ones sleeping with everyone in the choir, or if it's the Catholic Church, blowing the backs out of little boys against their will. So you can judge these women if you want to, but be careful. Your hypocrite slip is showing. The world wants to portray industries or certain industries as not good or not wholesome. Or they'll say something like, well, what kind of a woman would subject herself to that type of a job? Well, if you look closely at it, a smart one. These women are making tax-free money. This is tax-free every day of the week. That's ingenious for twerking. While you go to work, hating yourself and your life, trying to find a way out. Now, of course, I have to qualify that by saying, look, this work is not for everybody, ladies. This work is not for everybody. So please, for some of you, let this be a last resort. If you got bad knees or lower back pain or chronic pain, this ain't your lane. No, this ain't for you. Because once you are out there, there is no going back. And I think I saw a video of some grandmother on her knees trying to twerk. Oh my God, it was horrible. But anyway, let me continue here. Is there shame and guilt for some of these ladies? Of course there is. Okay, of course. I got shame and guilt when I go to work. I ain't proud of what I do. It's just a means to an end. I mean, I love the podcast though. This is something I'm very, very proud of. Very, very. This is my twerking. Can't see it, but Anyway, but in my opinion, it's no more shame and guilt than being a member of the Catholic Church. You talk about some shame or something you should be embarrassed by, but you keep going. You show up every Sunday knowing that the priest that you are looking at took advantage of little Timmy before service. And at least these women have never been accused of drugging, raping, or assaulting underage teens. Think about that. And like, for real, look, I like Obama. I do. And some of you hear them like, oh, I can't stand. Oh, look, okay, whatever. I'm not here to be political. I'm just saying I like the man. But he ain't rebuking Hollywood executives. He ain't rebuking teachers or musicians or people in other professions for alleged sexual assault. But Barry wants to come down on black youth. And I would keep it real. It kind of, it's a little, not a little, it's a lot hypocritical. And we know Obama got a pass. Obama was out there smoking and toking and, you know what time it is. And isn't, let me back up because I think I skipped over something. I mentioned the alleged sexual assault that the public at large, for whatever reason, just doesn't rebuke. But a black woman shaking her ass is a problem. And let's be honest, even with Barack, he doesn't. This is what's really going on, okay? And I'm kind of going off, just allow me just off topic for just a minute, but I want to explore this because I'm going to tell you, as a father, I want to tell you what's really going on. The reality is no man wants the idea of thinking about their daughter out twerking or shaking her ass. That's just the truth. He don't want to hear about Sasha and Malia on no pole, and that's fact. Can you imagine? All of a sudden, Michelle's shea butter comes up missing because the girls are using it to grease the pole. No, he don't want to deal with that. All right, but anyway, let me get back. I went off and up. Thank you for letting me do that. But isn't it ironic that the industry where sex is probably the most easy to have or access has the least problems with sexual abuse? Now, some people will say, well, what about sex trafficking? No, I'm talking about stripping and twerking and stripping, right? It has the least problems with sexual abuse. Now, that doesn't mean sex crimes aren't happening, but I ain't ever heard of no lawsuit being filed against a strip club because one of the customers touched Neek, that's my go-to, inappropriately. That's the whole reason for going. All right, so how does that affect the perception of twerking? Okay, look, twerking ain't hurting nobody. My opinion. The only people that are mad at twerking are females that wish they had the booty for the duty, or the religious right that wished those women went to their church so that they could take advantage of some of that twerking. There ain't no in between. And that's a fact. Now, I have had to visit a few of these establishments for my research, purely research. It was terrible. I was suffering the whole time. It was difficult. But look, these places are very nice. And what a lot of people don't understand, and I mean this, the food is the bomb at these strip clubs. They are really good. I've had the best burgers, steaks, fries at strip clubs. Like, for real, this is 5-star dining. I'm not kidding. This is good food. You want fries to go with that shake, baby? Well, yes, I would, actually. Look, fellas, surprise your girl on your next wedding anniversary and take her to the local strip club. The food is great. I'm serious. It's great. Let me know how that turns out, by the way. But for real, twerking is more than just a woman shaking her butt. It's exercise. It's serious exercise. And it doesn't take, it takes a lot of practice and control. And I know some of you hear that, you may be saying, come on, man. You're just being a pervert now. Well, that's partially true, but not in the overall sense. What I'm really saying is don't blame men for enjoying a woman shaking her buttocks on beat and in rhythm. You know how hard that is? I don't see how they do it anyway. To one of the hottest songs on the radio? I mean, come on. Think about it. The next time you hear this song, right? Now you hear that. Come on. Some of y'all twerking right now. Shake it, girl. Shake it, girl. It's a good song. He's so much to call a Billy Ocean. 18-wheeler. All right, okay. So it gives you a whole nother level of appreciation for these women. Dare I call them athletes? Dare I? I mean, look, some of you are going to hear that and you're going to roll your eyes, give me a side eye. But think about it. They train, they practice, they have to make sure they eat right. There's stiff competition. I'm not going to go into any double entendres there. And the best one wins the biggest bag at the end of the night. They even travel the world, entertaining dignitaries and professionals. Now, I know there ain't no twerking Olympics. Not a bad idea, but I guarantee if there were, it wouldn't matter who came in last. Look, they're all winners in my book. Where they say it's just nice to be nominated. That's job security, baby. Job security. Okay, now let's go and let's get a little more serious about the thoughts, or that some people have. Because I want to be fair. What do they say? It objectifies the female body. That's number one. Number two, it disrespects women. Number three, the critics say it makes it difficult for women to be taken seriously when other women do this type of work. Number four, the question is asked, well, would you want your daughter to be twerking in a strip club or twerking? And then finally, the fifth, well, what message does that send to other women? Okay, well, here's my response. Number one, the females are in control of their body at all times. It is them that decides to buy the clothes or lingerie because they like it. It's the female that chooses to wear the perfume they wear to twerk because they like it. It's the female's choice to get up every day and drive to the local strip club or video shoot, clock in, get dressed, and answer to cinnamon or diamond or China doll. They're in control. And to be honest, it's the men. It's the men that are losing money, not the women. These women are getting paid. Every time a baller makes it thunderstorm in the club, it's the strippers that get wet. Meaning get paid. Get your mind out the gutter. And for the record, there are thousands, no exaggeration, of twerking competitions all over the world. And believe it or not, and this is what shocked me, it's Russian women that are leading that evolution. For real. Surprising, right? Daspadanya. Tip your waitress. YouTube has a plethora of information. Trust me. And I had to watch to get ready for this podcast. So it was a struggle. Oh, the sacrifice that I make to make your life better. But most people think about black women, again, when they think of twerking. But these white girls, they ain't playing. Becky is out here bouncing. They are watching and they are learning quick. They got that snap back pop thing on lock. Black girls, you better watch out. The appropriation is real. Okay, number two, you can't disrespect somebody that is proud of what they're doing. To me, it's misplaced shame by the outside observers projecting it on the females, the women. Women will be taken, this is number three, women will be taken as seriously as they fight to be taken seriously. Women's bodies are not the enemy. It's the people that think they can tell a woman what to do with her body. That is the enemy. That's her body. She has the inalienable right to do with it whatever she pleases. And I wrote something in a text, and I want to read this because it's related to this, and it was some more thoughts. What did I say? Okay, stress the fact. Okay, these women are strong, confident, and believe it or not, they're courageous. I'm not sure how a female twerking means she must have a low IQ or low self-esteem. A lot of people say that self-esteem. So, look, I see it as the exact opposite. These women have great bodies, and they're proud of them, and they want to show them off and get paid. How is that any different than a bikini or lingerie model? How is it any different? Or runway models who walk Victoria's Secret. That fashion show every year is one of the highest rated TV shows on CBS. How do I know? Because I watch it every year, and I see the guys up front. I see the women. Everybody knows about the Victoria's Secret fashion show, but nobody criticizes it. Victoria's Secret is considered the elite of lingerie, and it's half-naked women bouncing their bottoms. They might not be twerking, but they're showing their assets. The women that agree to twerk are taking control of the image of their own body. They sign a contract, people. They're not abducted and just forced to work. They sign a contract to do the job, and then they move on to the next job. It's work. Twerk is work. I think people equate twerking with prostitution, and it's not. It's dancing, period. You're going to equate runway models to prostitutes? They're walking down naked, literally. Nobody ever says that. And again, you can try to morally shame someone out of doing something, but especially for some black women, okay, they enjoy what they're capable of doing. And it brings joy to other men and women. It does. So are we to believe that twerking is a national crisis in the black community? That's what offends me. You go to a black church or you talk to a group of, oh, it's so immoral. It's so degrading. I mean, really, to me, it's just more of society trying to control what a black woman does with her body. In a country that has a history of controlling a black woman's body. That's what it is. And we can go back to slavery and how doctors experimented on black women's bodies, their ovaries, their vaginas, no anesthetic. You know, they were awake. They abused these women, and that's what America's just so used to doing. Those days are over, and I'm glad Cardi B didn't succumb to the critics of her twerking video. Again, the same people criticizing are the same ones that are sleeping with prostitutes, call girls, or some other deviant sexual perversion. We all got closets, people, with skeletons that are fighting to get out. There are people listening to this show right now. If the skeletons ever got out, trust me, it would not be a good thing. All right, let me continue here. Number 4, would I want my daughter to twerk for a living? If my daughter felt like she had to twerk to make ends meet and she was happy, who am I to judge? And the fact is, somebody's daughter was lap dancing on you last night. And just because it wasn't your daughter doesn't mean it's a problem. The double standards and contradictions of life and living are everywhere. But understand, we all got things we do that we hope, as I said, that nobody finds out about. It's just twerking in strip clubs have a bright neon light telling the world where they are. But what if your indiscretions or sins had a bright neon light that blinked every time you were in action? Changes of perspective, doesn't it? Okay, number 5. The message that it sends to other women is, girl, do you. Do you, boo-boo. Don't let society dictate what makes you happy. Get your money, invest it, become that real estate agent. Cinnamon's real estate agency. Right? Or nurse that you dream of, because ain't no man gonna just give you the bag. Men are not gonna just give you the bag. You gotta secure the bag so you can get that Louis bag. Okay, look, we also have to, of course, deal with who gets to tell women what they can or cannot do with their body. Nobody but that female controls that. And this is important because I know fathers are the biggest hypocrites. They are. Men are the biggest hypocrites, but when you become a daddy to a girl, oh man, amnesia sets in right away. See, before they had the kids, they were all up in the clubs, throwing singles, slapping booties, no problem. But now they're all offended at the thought of their baby girl okay, that she could be earning money by having strange men or giving lap dances to strange men. You sure didn't have a problem when it was you. And how you gonna cheat the next generation of hormone-driven men from enjoying the same things that made your life special? How you gonna do that? Men have this ego thing about trying to direct and control women into doing or not doing what they want them to do when it's convenient. Women are very capable of making their own decisions, and they don't need a man with help in that department. Say it loud to the ladies in the back. Women are smarter than men anyway. And I know you men are going to hear like, wait, whoa, hey, partner, pump your brakes. No, women are smarter than men. And I know that may surprise some of you to hear that, but seriously, women are the smartest gender. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they prepare for eventualities. If this doesn't work, then I will do that. If that doesn't work, then I will do this. And if none of that works, then I got to do this. While men, on the other hand, we are one-trick ponies. Yeah, man, you know, I'm betting the whole farm in this custom rim business for cars. And if it doesn't work, what? He's homeless. Women ain't going out like that. They're like, look, you can do your rim business, but we're going to have a backup because I ain't sleeping on no rims. Right? Men have been trying to control women's bodies for hundreds of years unsuccessfully, I might add. Don't judge or criticize a woman for the choices she makes with her life and body if you're not willing to give her another financial option. It's easy to say what you wouldn't do, but you ain't in that situation. So it's best that you keep quiet before life shows you, and then you end up on stage with somebody stuffing singles in your G-string. Twerking ain't the enemy. And what's also funny is the people that criticize twerking give the perception that they don't enjoy it. Come on, y'all. What man or woman does not enjoy a good rump shaking or booty clapping video? It's intriguing to me. Seriously, I've seen women do incredible things with their buttocks or buttocks. One lady was cooking, another one was running the vacuum cleaner, another one was tying her shoes while studying. I mean, I'm a little facetious there, but look, it's a sight to behold and to be held. And okay, the other unspoken fact is not only men, you know, as I said, you know, the next time you go to a strip club or a local twerk fest, you will see lots of ladies that are just as excited as the men to see some jello shaking booty popping in their face. And ladies, you know I'm telling the truth. You know I am. Now there is, I might add, a double standard. White women, again, that twerk are not viewed in the same negative light as black women that twerk, and that's the problem. Black women that twerk receive a lot more hate related to feedback when it was black women that created twerking in the first place. They need to be celebrated. There should be a twerking hall of fame where you just walk in, you got a twerking hostess, you walk to your seat for the evening's awards. Okay? And then look, they get jackets like the football players get Hall of Fame jackets. And maybe they get the Golden G-String or Lifetime Achievement Award. And they also get a booty bust. Or would it be a bust of a booty? I don't know how to work that out. But okay, and let's say it vibrates and twerks when you touch it. Right? I really like that idea. If you're listening and you go out and you do that, I want to cut. All right. So look, I think you get the idea about where I'm going. Women have the right to do whatever they want, and it's not a man's right or place to tell a woman what to do with her body. It's hers. God gave it to her to use as she feels necessary. Twerking ain't hurting nobody. Nobody. And if you don't like it, when the video comes on, turn the channel or copy the link and send it to me. I can always use more information. You know, for research purposes, of course. Well, as usual, I'm sure you have your own thoughts, and that's great. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's talk about this. So, I want to thank you for checking out another podcast of We Ain't Scared Talk. You got some good food for thought. And listen again. Tell a friend. We ain't scared. Hey. Do it, baby, stick it, baby, move it, baby, lick it, baby, suck up on that click into that pussy, got a hickey, baby, watch big, coulda brought a Range Rover, chain, but I spent some change on it. Nigga mad, all right, y'all. A1, and enjoy your day. Again, we ain't scared.